You are listening to the Wear, Wag, Repeat podcast. I'm your host, Tori Mystic, and I want to welcome you back to 2025 here on my show. It has been a minute since I have published a new episode because I had not the greatest December, to be honest with you. And I'll get into that in a minute. But I just want to let you know that if you are new here, or if you've also kind of had a crazy last couple of months or last year, there's a ton of amazing episodes if you scroll back in this feed. Last year in 2024, I did monthly expert interviews with amazing people in and outside of the pet industry. And they all followed really great and impactful quarterly themes. So starting with last Q1, we talked about money. So if money is on your mind right now, go back to January 2024 and listen to all of those episodes. I really am so proud of how those turned out, and they're extremely valuable and helpful. So if you are working on making a game plan for 2025 or going over your finances from last year and you need a little bit of help, there are some really great free episodes here on this podcast if you scroll back to last January. And there's great episodes throughout the entire year, both with my guests, and also, I gotta say, I have some pretty good solo episodes mixed in there as well. So the reason why I haven't published an episode in a while is because on December 11th, I had my dogs, Burt and Lucy, at their annual exam at the vet. And I kind of had noticed over the summer that Lucy, when it was really hot and humid, she was really having a hard time walking up hills, going on longer walks, and I just kind of chalked it up to the humidity and her getting older. Both my dogs are turning 13 in a couple of weeks here, so they're definitely in their golden years. But I also kind of felt like maybe it wasn't just the humidity, maybe there was some sort of something going on internally that was making it hard for her to get in as much oxygen. Maybe something was like putting pressure on her lungs or her heart or something like that. But I was like, I'll wait and see for their annual exam. The appointment's coming up. I'm going to call and make the appointment. And then it was in December, so I know that seems like a far way away from the summer, but this is just how it happened. Because other than that, Lucy's a very happy, healthy, wonderful girl. Really no issues. We do blood work all the time. She's always great. And so I just waited for this annual exam about a month ago. And when we were there, our regular veterinarian, who we've been seeing for years, said that she was doing like a physical exam of Lucy's abdomen and that she thought that there was a pretty big mass in there and she wanted to do an x-ray right away. So we did an x-ray that day and she was like, yes, this confirms what I thought, that there seems to be a very large mass on her spleen. So this is called a splenic mass. And that usually 70% of the time, a splenic mass is a indicator or when a dog has a splenic mass, 70% of the time, they also have a type of cancer called hemangiosarcoma. And that's a cancer of the lining of the blood vessels. I've learned so much in the past month. Words, I'd never heard the word hemangiosarcoma, and now it just rolls off my tongue. So anyhow, she said you have to go to the specialty vet. We have an amazing facility in our area that used to be called Pittsburgh Veterinary Emergency Specialty Clinic or something like that. But now it's called Blue Pearl. It's owned by Mars, so I have mixed feelings on that. But we went there, and it really is the top-notch, top-of-the-line facility with the best specialists and experts. There's neurologists, oncologists, surgeons, amazing. Anything that you could ask for, they have it there. And so we went there, but our appointment was 1 week later. So our annual exam was on a Tuesday. Our appointment at the specialty vet was 1 week later. That week, you guys, that was one of the worst weeks of my life. I was just beyond consoling. I got it in my head. Someone mentioned to me that, this had happened to their dog, and they decided that, it was best to just put them down instead of having them go through the pain and the surgery and the this and the that. Because one of the solutions for this is to have a splenectomy, have your spleen removed. And someone said, instead of doing that, they had opted to put their dog down. So I literally spent 7 days thinking that I was going to have to put my dog down on December 17th. And it was the worst week of my life, perhaps. And I just want to cry thinking about it right now. And so we went to the specialty vet. I was there all day long. My dad went with me, so I wasn't by myself, which was nice. And I just asked a million questions, and we did more x-rays. We did an ultrasound, and the veterinarian there, her name was Hope, Dr. Hope Chisnell, and I just was really optimistic about her first name being Hope. And she, went through a very, very thorough diagnostics, and we decided ultimately to do nothing. Which I was like, what? Nothing? You mean we've done all this and we know there's something wrong and our solution is to do nothing? I couldn't wrap my head around that. And I'm still kind of day to day, like, am I doing enough? And so, of course, I didn't do nothing. I asked her, is there anything I can do to improve Lucy's quality of life for whatever time we have left? Because if you have hemangiosarcoma, the sort of veterinary life expectancy that they give you is 1 to 3 months. But, I have a lot of questions like starting when? Like starting when people find this out? A lot of people don't find this out until very, very late. And did we catch it early? Like, I don't know. So we really have no idea. And not knowing and having no idea and not having the data at my fingertips is driving me crazy. But luckily, I have this amazing network of people like you who's listening right now. And I posted all of this on social media because I needed the help and the support that I knew my community would be able to offer me. And I reached out to veterinarians who I'd connected with over the years, and I reached out to my pet blogger friends, and one of them has become a holistic pet nutritionist and specializes in Chinese herbs. And I reached out to anyone and everyone that I knew, and I was so thankful to have this network of people that I've built over the last 12 years of this blog. And I got so much support and so much great information. So the end of the story is that Lucy is doing great. Lucy has no idea this is going on, and she's a happy, happy girl. She's especially happy because I'm making her food for her now so that she can have the best, healthiest nutrition to kind of keep her going and to not feed the cancer if she does in fact have cancer. They can't definitively tell you this unless you do the surgery and they do a biopsy, and we opted not to do any of that just because of her age and the condition of the masses that are inside. I also have to say I've received a lot of messages from people since then saying they decided to do the exact same thing, to do nothing, and that the time they had left with their dog became some of their best memories ever because they were really living in the moment and really making the most of every day. So that's what we're focusing on, making the most of every single day, doing lots of canine enrichment, spending as much time together as possible. I'm also adding some really great supplements to her diet. And I will definitely be doing a blog post sharing all that I have learned because it was not easy to learn, and I have access to lots and lots of experts, but not everyone does. So I think it's really important that I'm going to write a blog post with everything that I've learned in the past month. So that's kind of the update on why I haven't published a podcast episode lately. However, I am really excited about 2025. And in this episode today, I want to share with you my word of the year. I don't know if you do this, a word of the year or a phrase, a saying of the year. So I'm sitting in my little podcasting nook, and I'm looking at my whiteboard in front of me, and I see my 2024 word of the year. Last year, that word was ease. I wanted to just find ease in everything, make things easy, ease into stuff. And you know what? Looking back at that, I I kind of went hard in some ways because I can't help myself, but I did find a lot of ease. I had lots of quiet mornings, and we went up to Cape Cod a whole bunch of times and walked on the beach. And I just kind of was, trying to take it easy as much as I could. And I really think I succeeded in that last year, and just being less stressed. And, sometimes I'm so worried about everything being perfect. And I think I really did a good job of being a little bit easier on myself and everything around me last year. So that brings me to my 2025 word of the year, which is a phrase. And it is one thing at a time. So it's kind of, I think, building on, it's in the theme of ease, but one thing at a time. For me, that means simplifying. It means living in the moment. I'm really inspired, especially by the past month with Lucy, to really focus and be present in the moment and do one thing at a time. And so I am the kind of person, I have a lot of things going on. So I was kind of laughing at myself the other day as I was headed to my fourth job, which, I have all these little side gigs. I teach one day a week at my gym because I love it and I love the community there. And I have so much fun getting on the microphone and telling everyone what workout to do for an hour a week. I love it. So that's one of my little side gigs. And then I also teach a course at a local university here. And I only do it in the spring semester. So I taught last spring, and we just started up. Spring semester started January 7th, which didn't feel very springy here. But as I was headed to teach the class at the university, I was like, one thing at a time, Tori, you're doing too much. But for me, I'm finding a way to make this work for me, and that is just kind of being present. And I have to say, this is a lesson that I learned teaching at my gym last year. I've been doing that for the past 6 or 7 months, and I teach Wednesday mornings. There's an hour-long class at 10 a.m., and then I stick around and I do a quick 30-minute class at noon. So there's about 45 minutes in between where there's no customers there, and I'm just kind of hanging out with one of my coworkers. And when I first started, I was like, oh, this is so great. In this 45 minutes, I can, watch some sort of lesson online. I can do this. I can reply to emails. I can do my social media posts. I can catch up on do something. I can design Canva graphics on my phone. I can multitask. And about 2 weeks into that, I realized, no, when I'm here for this 45 minutes in between, I chit chat with my coworker. We catch up, we talk about what's going on. I maybe rearrange my playlist for the next class, or think about what workout we're going to do for the 5 minutes of core at the end of class. I stay present and I stay in the moment. And it really made me feel less harried, less rushed and stressed, of just staying in the moment. And I know for some people this is really obvious and comes naturally, but for me it does not. So I have been learning to do one thing at a time, and I'm excited to make that my theme for 2025. I'd love to hear what your word of the year or your phrase of the year is. Please come find me on Instagram at wherewagrepeat, or you can always shoot me an email, tori@wherewagrepeat.com. I'm sure we're connected already in some way, but I would love to hear what your word of the year or your phrase of the year is. We shared this in Where Wag Repeat Society in December. We were sort of brainstorming our words and phrases of the year, and everyone came up with some really great ones. I'm looking in my notes here to see if I can find it, but I don't exactly know where that is. So oh, here we go. Wait, I found it. So some of the words of the year were just do it, look higher. Oh, I love that one. Just be ambitious. Flow, get in your flow. Another one was focus. Someone else said scaling. And then I had my word, one thing at a time. So I would love to hear what yours is. Please reach out and let me know. So speaking of one thing at a time, in my petpreneur side of my business, So that's why I said I have like 4 jobs, because I feel like Wear, Wag, Repeat is really 2 jobs. I've got my pet pro side and my pet parent side. But on my pet pro side, you may have seen I did a big end of year sale, and I discontinued all of my one-on-one services like coaching or leash up your email marketing. And I also discontinued my courses like the Pinterest course, and I also discontinued the Course Creator Mastermind. So everything has been sunsetted, as they say in the tech world. And I'm really excited this year to focus on one thing at a time. And that one thing is Wear, Wag, Repeat Society. I absolutely love this membership and I love my members. And every time we get together on a call, it gives me so much energy. I look forward to it. And then when the call is over, I'm energized. It's the highlight of my job. I love my membership so much. And I love seeing the progress and the transformations that people have and just the aha moments that we can have being together and having each other for accountability. This is year 5 of Wear, Wag, Repeat Society. So we have a huge archive of amazing lessons in the Petpreneur Resource Library. There's over 48 lessons in there now, and bonus resources and all kind of stuff. And it's all organized in a way now that you can find what you need. So whether you're looking for social media help or help understanding numbers and revenue, or if you need help with systems so that you can kind of find that work-life balance and figure out how to have more free time, there's lessons for all of that stuff in there. So I'm really, really excited. I've reorganized the library in that way, and I'm also introducing some new things to the membership this year. One of those things is weekly office hours. So I've been loving the Voxer app, which is sort of like a little walkie-talkie app. You can send voice notes, but you can also just send regular text messages. It's a messaging app. But I've been loving using Voxer in the past year with other people that I work with. So this year for Wear, Wag, Repeat Society members, every Thursday morning is Voxer office hours. So if you are a member, you can send me a message at any time during the week, and every single Thursday from 10 to 11 a.m., I will personally reply and give you my feedback, and we can kind of bounce ideas back and forth during that hour if you're available. Or if not, you can reply to me when it works for you. So I wanted to do this because I heard that a lot of people couldn't attend our scheduled calls. A lot of people might still have a full-time job and their pet business is their side hustle, or they're too busy working on their actual pet business to tune into our scheduled calls. So I wanted to provide this like asynchronous support where you can send me a message anytime, and you know that every Thursday I will be getting back to you and replying to you. So I'm really excited about those office hours. There's also a monthly member spotlight that I'll be doing to share my members' promotions, sales, news, wins, whatever it is they want to share. I'll be sharing their stuff with my entire audience once a month. So I'm excited to that for that to give you more visibility and more kind of like free PR for your pet business. So if you want to come and try this out, I also have a new pricing option, which is to try 2 weeks for just $24. So there's not a better deal than that anywhere that I know of. So if you want to come try out Wear, Wag, Repeat Society, you can do it for 2 weeks for just $24. The regular monthly fee is $69 a month. So you could also just sign up for the monthly. That's also an amazing freaking deal. But if you want to just try it out for 2 weeks and see if you like it, you can do that. Either way, if you sign up for 2 weeks or the full month, every single new member gets a complimentary coffee chat with me. So you'll get an email invitation to set up a coffee chat with me where it's like a little 20-minute Zoom call where we can get to know each other and I can learn about your business and what you need help with and kind of point you in the right direction. So I love doing that. I love connecting with people, and these calls have been a great way to get to know everyone and just make sure that you feel seen and heard and you're getting the support that you need and that you deserve. So that's it for this episode. I'm excited to get back into podcasting here. I'm going to do my best to keep it consistent and hopefully every Wednesday come out with a new episode this year. I am focusing on solo episodes. So if you have any questions, I'm thinking I can do some Ask Me Anything kind of episodes. I'll do a bunch of short little ones. My short leash series will be back for sure. And then I will have some sort of longer ones that are explaining different strategies. And of course, I love to take you behind the scenes and show you how I am growing my pet business. So I hope that you have had a great start to 2025. After a very rocky end to 2024, I actually am having a great start to this year, and I'm really excited about it. So I thank you so much for listening to this episode and for being a follower of me and Wear, Wag, Repeat. I really value you being here so much. I can't even tell you. So thank you, and I hope you have an amazing day. For more resources to grow your pet business online, visit wearwagrepeat.com. And if you're interested in joining my membership for petpreneurs like you can find all the information at wearwagrepeat.com/society.